Welcome back to the Rocket League Film Room. A-Dub here, and today we're doing another replay analysis. I believe these guys are out of South America, so bear with me. I'll try to do the pronunciations at the best that I can. I believe this one was submitted by Fusgui, or Fusgui. I think it's Fusgui. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize, but that's what I'm going to go for throughout the game. So again, my normal process is I go through your replay, get an idea of where you stand mechanically, where you stand positionally, and then I go back through, watch it again, and take notes to make comments on things I think you can do better at, things that you're doing well, and last time I go through and obviously do the commentary. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this first play here, I just wanted to point out, it's kind of a minor thing. I mean, you guys scored a goal off of this. But Doctor, here you do something that I like to call lingering in the corner, where you're looking for a redirect from Chape, but the ball is kind of hit over your head to where you actually have to back up, and then you kind of just get in the way. It was a good idea to pass it. I mean, that's what you want to do. But Chape could have made that hit, and if you had rotated, I think you would have been in a little bit better position. Now, you did still recover, and you were able to play this ball, and you guys scored. So, like I said, it's not like a huge thing, but it's something that I just wanted to point out. Maybe you don't want to linger too long in the corner if you can keep from it, unless you have a direct, redirect opportunity. I would try to rotate out and let your teammates make a hit if they have a better angle. All right, I don't know if you guys play on comms normally or if you just play in a party together, but this kind of thing is what you want to avoid. So you both go for the same ball, and then it's almost like you guys are attached at the hip. You both race for this boost over here, and keep in mind the boost glitch in replays. Sometimes the boost doesn't show up. That boost is there, and I think Chape gets it. But you guys give the other team a free clear. If that had been on target, I think Doctor would have been in a pretty rough situation, because he's kind of caught in no man's land where he was like, well, I think he thought one of you were going to challenge this, but instead they get a free clear out of it. But like I said, if that had been on target, this might have been a much tougher play for Doctor. If they had hit it off the backboard here, it probably would have been a pretty easy follow-up shot. Doctor did a nice job, though, of just staying calm and patient and letting the ball fall to him instead of trying to do kind of like an awkward aerial, because he knew both of you guys were up. So that was a really nice touch by him. But if you're in comms together, that really shouldn't ever happen if you're calling out whether you're going for boost or not. If you're not in comms together, you just got to try to, if you see someone going for boost, you got to try to be the one that also doesn't go for the same boost. Like, turn and try to pick up some pads. Because if we go back and look, if Chape had just kept flipping, this guy was backwards. If you had just kept flipping and going for the ball, you could have, I'm pretty sure you could have blocked that, or at least gotten close to blocking that. Either way, you should have at least made an attempt, even if you didn't have boost. You don't want to just give them free clear opportunities like that, because more often than not, that's what leads to scoring chances for the other team. Okay, so and the next thing I noticed here was kind of right after what I just pointed out, just a couple seconds later. And if we look at Doctor's rotation here, after he makes this touch, it's a good touch. After you realize this guy hit the ball before you don't want to turn back into the corner here. You're just going to get in the way of your teammates, and that's actually what happens. You turn back, he tries to clear it, and you actually clear it back towards the middle. And then Fusgui has to go up for this weird aerial. He makes a nice touch on it, but now if you look at you guys, you're scrambling, like Chape's backwards, you're like stuck on the post, and all that could have been prevented. So what you want to do, after you make this touch, okay, you realize he's going to hit it, go like this way. You want to rotate sort of like this. And then as you're rotating, look for a chance to redirect a clear from Chape. So pretend you're not there, right? Chape hits this ball. I think the way it's going to bounce, it's going to come out like somewhere like right here. It's hard to tell without, being able to draw on the screen. But it's going to pop sort of just like straight out this way, I think. you want to be more like over here. You don't want to rotate back in the corner. If you're here, then you can see, okay, maybe Fusgui can pop it forward and you can make a play on it at that point. If he's not able to do that, then you just rotate in behind him. So you're kind of in the position where you're playing up like this. You'd be looking to either redirect a ball from Fusgui, or if you see that he doesn't have a good touch on it, then you rotate back behind him and you're in a good place. But like I said, because you rotated back into the corner, you end up hitting this ball up your own wall, and then Fusgui has to make this weird aerial, and then you guys are scrambling here on defense. Now, they weren't able to capitalize on it, but more as you get better, teams will definitely punish those little mistakes like that. So just be aware of your rotation, especially on defense. Alright, I'm going to show this entire rotation sequence. It's kind of similar to what I just mentioned with rotating back in the corner, but there's a couple other things that went wrong as well. And again, this didn't lead to a goal, but as you get higher ranked, like I said, more teams are going to punish your rotational mistakes. So I'm going to start it around 303 here. Chape makes this touch, which there's nobody there for blue to capitalize on that. That's kind of a risky play, though, popping it in front of your net like that. So Doctor's coming in. He takes possession of the ball, but then I'm looking at Chape and Fusgui right here. Seems like you guys don't know who's going to be the man second in rotation. You both kind of go into the corner. I think Fusgui realizes that maybe he shouldn't be there, so he backs up. So that's good that you recognize that, okay, we've already got another teammate going in the corner. Let me just back up and play goalie. And you're in a decent position here. You might want to be a little bit further back in case this gets hit far post. So Chape makes a touch into the corner, and then he turns back. You don't really ever want to turn back towards your goal. There's rare opportunities where that's a good idea. Doctor, once you realize that there's no redirect from Chape coming, you need to be rotating back this way. Chape should have not turned back. He should have taken your place. And now you're somewhere over here. So when Fusgui comes out to hit this, he's going to try to hit it at Chape, who has taken your position. And then if Chape is able to redirect it, then you're also over here for either a pass or to take a shot or whatever. If he's not able to redirect it, then you're in an easy enough position where you rotate back to defense. It needs to be sort of like a 1-2-3 style rotation. You don't want to rotate back into your corner. Even if you make a pass back to your goalie, it's not optimal. It's slow, and as the teams get better, they're going to be playing too fast for you to make plays like that. So I'm gonna keep pointing out those little rotational things. Try to hammer it into your brain so you get in a habit of doing your full rotations. It's definitely gonna help you guys. I know you won this game fairly easily, but if you had been playing a little bit stronger of a team, I think maybe they would have been able to punish those little positional mistakes. So we can take a quick look at the first goal they scored. I don't think it was a positional mistake. I think what I saw was that, yeah, Chape just missed this boost, and that happens sometimes. And he was stubborn. He was like, all right, I got to get that boost. And you guys are up 5-0. It's not a big deal. If you had gotten that boost, you would have been back for this easily. The only thing I can offer is, if it was a close game, maybe you would have just gone to the goal after you missed the boost. But if you see they're about to shoot it, you just got to try to get back either way, even if you didn't grab the boost. So that's really all I can comment on that play. Okay, so the next goal they scored here, I'm not sure what Doctor was expecting to happen. I'm going to look at it from his point of view, so maybe I can try to see what he was thinking here. I mean, I think he was hoping that maybe someone was able to go up and hit this ball towards him. But once you see both your teammates go up, you gotta rotate back. Especially, all right, I'm gonna go look at his point of view. Yeah, I mean, I can tell this is gonna be a really weak touch no matter who hits this, just the way they went up. We'll play it again here. So he gets that boost. I think he's looking for a redirect here, but there's really no redirect opportunity. I mean, the ball is gonna go way to the right or stay in the middle. So you've once you see that, you've got to be, coming back to goal to cover both of your teammates who went up for this. If you had come back right away, you would have had to predict it a little bit earlier. Just from playing, I knew the way they went up that it was going to be a really slow, awkward hit. So I probably would have rotated in a little bit quicker. But like I said, it's fine to look for redirect opportunities, especially on defense. But if you see that both your teammates go up, you got to be back to cover goal. So that's really all I can say about that. Is kind of just recognizing that you've got to fill the gap that your teammates leave behind. Even if you think there's a chance maybe the ball squirted out to you over there, I still would have tried to play that a little bit safer. Alright, so I just wanted to pause this here sort of towards the end of the game and take a look at your team's positioning right now. It's almost like blue has a better defensive positioning than you guys, which, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's kind of funny. It's like this guy's playing goalie, this guy's coming in to clear the ball, and this guy's looking for a redirect from him. So what happens on this play? We got to back up a little bit. Let's see. So Fusgui's in the corner. He kind of misses. Doctor, you've got to be more like over here, not so much out in the middle of the field. So once he's going up for the wall on the wall here. Okay, yeah, I see what you're doing. It kind of looked like he might be able to hit this forward. And yeah, I guess so. Once he did that, you kind of realize that, and you try to get back in the corner there. So that's fine. Chape though, you don't want to rush into the corner if you're the third man back. You got to be way more patient. So once he makes this touch, you've got to be more like back here, because he's gonna flick it. That happens so much. I see this happen all the time. People rush into the corner, and then the guy makes one more touch and flicks it over you for a wide open net. Now the guy doesn't make it. He just completely missed, and you recovered and blocked it. Most teams would score that. That would have been a goal fairly easily. Chape, if you had waited just a split second longer, you would have cleared this ball pretty hard, actually, judging by how fast you were going. So if you're the third man back, just recognize that you have to be more patient. Make sure, you've got to be 100% sure that that guy is not going to flick it over you. Because it kind of makes you look silly, and it happens to me all the time. Not so much anymore, but in the past, I used to just charge into that corner, try to clear it as hard as I could, and the guy would just make a little tap around me, and I would look pretty silly. So again, one more time, if you're the third man back, make sure, 100% sure, that the guy that's on offense isn't going to make an additional pop over you. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this one. I didn't point out a whole lot of stuff about the goals you scored, or really anything related to the goals you scored. A lot of them were, they were pretty nice goals. It seemed like you guys were pretty confident as you kept scoring. You started going for more like kind of crazy, freestyle shots. So I didn't want to point out so much about those kind of goals. I wanted to point out more of like positional, how you can improve your positional game. So that's really what I focused this replay analysis on. And what I want you guys to work on is your defensive, well, both your defensive and offensive rotation. Try to implement like a 1-2-3 strategy where after player 1 makes his pass or his play, he rotates out of the play. He doesn't linger behind. Especially on offense, don't linger after you make your play, because your teammate's going to have a better angle and more momentum to come out and make a hit. And on defense, if you're player 1 and you make your clear attempt or whatever you're doing in the corner, don't turn back into the corner like ever. Like that shouldn't be a habit that you sort of ingrain in your Rocket League strategy. After player 1 makes a pass or a play on defense, rotate back towards the middle of the field to see if there's a redirect chance, and if there's not, then you rotate back to goal. And then player 2 takes your spot. So it's kind of like a fluid rotation. It's not so much a sit and wait if you're player 1 looking for a redirect chance. If you see that chance doesn't come, you don't want to sit there and wait to see if maybe the next player will hit it to you. You want to let player 2 fill your spot, and then player 3 and so on. So it's a constant fluid rotation. The quicker you guys are rotating, the more ball pressure you have, the easier it'll be to get it cleared, and you'll really see your Rocket League, your ranks are going to shoot up the better your positioning gets. So hopefully that helped. If you have any future replays you'd like me to look at, I'd be definitely willing to do so. Just contact me like you did before, and I'll see you guys in the next one.